How Jeff Bezos spends his billions. When you're in the position to be the richest man on the planet, there is no doubt that you will spend the same amount on what Jeff Bezos spends on. Bezos isn't just rich, he's the first person in the modern history to accumulate a fortune of over $200 billion, according to the latest Forbes estimates. The CEO spends his fortune on real estate across the US, a $65 million Gulfstream jet, and his space exploration company Blue Origin. Spending over $100,000 a day for the Amazon CEO is equivalent to $1 spent by an average American. Some of Jeff's investments include a company dedicated to commercial space travel, Seattle trucking startup Convoy, a robot dog, cloud-based financial management services provider Workday, a whole lot of estates, healthcare company ZocDoc, and many more. The billionaire also has a giant clock worth millions of dollars and no doubt a private jet that helps him cruise around the world at the snap of his fingers. Expensive jewelry, family time out, fancy cars, boats, and exotic foods are the ways the successful CEO spends his billions. So, stick until the end of the video to find out how Jeff Bezos spends his billions. When Jeff decided to sell books online, his parents had a lot of worry about the decision, but never relented in showing their support to his new course. They were able to get him a financial help of over $250,000 to help him realize his dream and be happy. They never knew that their support was going to one day make their son the wealthiest human being in the entire world and create one of the most sought-after online retail stores. Today, Amazon's worth is over $1 trillion. It will surprise you to know that Jeff earns an annual salary of only a little over $80,000. His investments and assets are making him luxurious. Bezos makes more money per second than the typical US worker makes in a week. Since mid-October 2019, Bezos' fortune has grown by $80 billion. Based on the year-over-year change in his net worth, Bezos has made $152,207 per minute and $2,537 per second. This also means that as you watch this video, Jeff is still making money. This is a huge amount that you may get confused on how to spend that much amount of money, but Bezos still manages to find a way to spend his money. Acquiring new businesses. Jeff is a very wise businessman. This wisdom is probably what keeps him productive. Unlike some business persons, Bezos sees potential in companies that people have written off, and just as he is successful with Amazon, he is always successful with them as well. He has invested among other areas such as cancer research, agriculture, tech, and education. He has invested in Airbnb, healthcare company Grail, Whole Foods, Google, Twitter, and Uber. In 2019, Jeff bought Zappos, a shoe brand, for about $1.2 billion. He also acquired newspaper company The Washington Post, which he spent $250 million to buy in 2013. Since his acquisition of the newspaper company, he has rebranded and given it a substantial digital push such that it is relevant even today. He then moved on to the grocery business and also bought Whole Foods in 2017 for an outrageous amount of $13.7 billion. It seems as though the CEO is not yet done with investments, as he also has made other investments in companies such as IMDb, Google, Twitch, Alexa, and Audible. He also has a personal venture capital firm called Bezos Expeditions. The aim of setting up this business is to invest in smaller markets and provide startup funds. However, the most exciting piece in all of his investments is the Blue Origin space company, a company he believes would help in traveling to space at a high speed, and also it would be affordable. A high-profile divorce. Parting ways with partners in a divorce could be one of the trailblazing expenses in a man's life. In 2019, Jeff had a high-profile divorce with his former wife, Mackenzie Bezos. At the end of the divorce, he had to part with 25% of Amazon stocks owned by the couple as a settlement to her. This is a rough estimation of about $38 billion. Well, for an average man, this would be such a staggering journey, but to Jeff, it stripped him of nothing. Charity. We can't just talk about the other stuff that he's bought over the years without talking about his contributions to charity in his lifetime. He has donated to charities, and his most notable one was to the Bezos Earth Fund, which was a check for $10 billion. Before this, he had donated $98.5 million to his Bezos Day One Fund and another $97.5 million to the same fund. A year prior, some of the smaller donations include $35 million to the Dream.US and a $15 million to the Princeton's Neuroscience Institute. The next thing Bezos spends on is land. Land Report of 2017 named Jeff the 28th largest landowner in the entire country for a businessman not so inclined in the real estate business. This is really massive. Undoubtedly, the billionaire has luxurious properties scattered across the country that everyone is aware of. In mid-2019, right after his divorce was settled, Jeff paid about $80 million on a 3-linked New York City apartment. These apartments are located in one of the most expensive parts of the town. The 3-linked apartment sits on 10,000 square feet and contains a 7-room master suite and 5 bedrooms. Inside the master bedroom, Bezos can see the view of the Empire State Building right from the bathtub of his fantastic apartment. Jeff is a big fan of Washington. He owns a predominantly luxurious estate in Medina. The estate includes 2 homes on 5.3 acres of land and sits right on Lake Washington shores. Each apartment has 4 bathrooms and 5 bedrooms. A report revealed that these twin apartments cost the CEO nothing less than $53 million. The property is worth this amount considering the 310 feet of private shoreline and the boathouse it has. The estate is located in an exclusive part of town where many other successful people like Bill Gates live. Forget the already listed homes owned by Bezos. You would definitely love to know that Jeff also has one of the most incredible estates in Los Angeles. This property is situated in one of the priciest parts of LA, Beverly Hills. It's one of the most expensive properties to have ever been sold in that area. Bezos bought the 9 properties in Beverly Hills for $165 million. He purchased the buildings from David Geffen, and that was early 2020. Back in 2007, he also bought a Spanish-style mansion for $24.45 million. The villa has about 7 bedrooms and 7 bathrooms. The home also has a greenhouse, and just a few days from the purchase, Jeff bought another 4-bedroom house right next door. The apartment cost Jeff about $12.9 million. Jets. When it comes to travel, you know that Bezos needs to be always on time, and don't go off thinking that he's booking flights like any ordinary mortal. When he needs to go somewhere, he hops onto his private jet. Jeff owns a $65 million Gulfstream G650ER private jet, which is one of the fastest private jets in the entire world. But it seems like this investment was worth the money. As they say, this private jet doesn't require frequent stops like other comparable models in this class. Cars. Now you'll be surprised to know that Bezos is not really into fancy cars. In fact, he's very economical when you talk about wheels. His ex-wife used to drive him to work while they were still together. So, there's not much that we can say about this, but the guy doesn't really like cars. Until 2013, he was still driving a Honda, but recently, he has been seen chauffeured in a Cadillac Escalade Lincoln stretch limousine, a Mercedes-Benz S450, and a Range Rover. He decided to up his game since he became the richest man in the world. Again, a billionaire that makes most of his money from technology would no doubt own some awesome gadgets. Back in 2018, Jeff tweeted a photo of him walking with a robot dog that he called the Spot Mini. This robot was created by Boston Dynamics and costs over $74,000. Yachts. Even though the internet was on fire after rumors began to spread about Jeff Bezos owning $400 million super yacht, the Flying Fox, there was no evidence to support those claims, and when Twitter fans became enraged that one person could buy a $400 million yacht while his employees were being paid minimum wage, an official spokesperson of Amazon had to step out and inform the public that Jeff does not own the yacht. Hey guys, thank you so much for sticking till the end of the video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. What would you do if you had all the money Jeff has? You can tell us in the comments section below. See you in the next video. Till then, goodbye.